She hasn't seen another person in 31 days. And somehow, she has never felt more at peace. Before the sun touches the water, the lighthouse keeper is already awake. Her name is Elias. And this tower of stone and salt is the only home she has ever needed. The wooden floorboards creak softly beneath her feet. A familiar sound. A comforting one. She moves to the small iron stove in the corner. Fills the kettle with water. Sets it over the flame. The fire breathes quietly. Orange and gold. Warm against the cold blue of early morning. Outside, the fog is thick. It rolls in from the sea like a slow exhale. Soft. Unhurried. Elias opens the window just a little. Cool salt air drifts inside. It smells like deep water and distant rain. She closes her eyes for a moment. Just breathing. Just listening. Somewhere below, the ocean moves. Gentle and endless. The kettle begins to whisper. She pours the tea slowly. Watches the steam rise in soft curls. And disappear into the morning air. She carries the cup up the spiral stairs. Each step worn smooth from years of walking. Each turn familiar. Safe. At the top, the great lantern is still turning. Slow and steady. Its light sweeps across the water. A quiet guardian. Still watching over the ships that never come this close anymore. Elias wraps both hands around her cup. And watches the horizon turn from gray to gold. By mid-morning, the fog has lifted just enough. She pulls on her worn coat. Steps outside. The wind is soft today. It moves through the tall sea grass below the tower. With a sound like whispering. She walks the narrow path down to the rocks. Checks the signal lanterns. Clears away the kelp that washed up overnight. Small work. Quiet work. But it matters. Every piece of driftwood placed. Every rope retied. Every light kept clean. This is how she keeps the sea safe. One small, careful thing at a time. In the afternoon, Elias sits in her chair by the window. An old book open in her lap. Pages soft and yellowed at the edges. Rain begins. Barely a sound at first. Then a gentle tapping on the glass. She doesn't rush inside. She just listens. The rain on the windows. The waves below. The turning of the old lantern above. A slow and steady rhythm. Like breathing. Like a heartbeat. There is a photograph on the shelf beside her. A woman and a young boy. Standing in a field of tall grass somewhere far from the sea. Elias looks at it for a long moment. She doesn't feel sad, exactly. It's something softer than that. Quieter. Like the ache of a beautiful song. You haven't heard in years. She turns back to her book. And the rain keeps falling. By late afternoon, the clouds begin to break. Long golden light pours across the water. The sea turns amber and rose. It shimmers like a mirror held up to the sky. Elias stands at the railing outside. The wind has gentled. The waves roll in slow and low. The whole world feels like it is exhaling. She thinks. Not for the first time. That loneliness and solitude are not always the same thing. There are days when the quiet is heavy. When the silence presses in. But then there are evenings like this. When the light falls just so. And the sea is calm. And the whole world seems to say, you are exactly where you need to be. As night settles in, Elias lights the lanterns one by one. Each flame catching with a soft hiss. Warm amber light spilling out. Across the dark water below. She makes a simple supper. Bread and warm soup. The fire crackling low. She sits at the small table by the window. Eats slowly. Watches the lighthouse beam sweep across the black sea. Once. Twice. Again. Before she sleeps. She writes one line in her journal. The sea was kind today. She closes the book. Sets it on the shelf beside the photograph. Pulls the heavy blanket up around her shoulders. Outside. The rain returns. Soft and steady now. A sound like the ocean humming to itself. The lantern turns above. Patient and faithful. Lighting the way for ships. And stars. And sleeping keepers. And tomorrow morning, Elias will wake before the sun. She will make her tea. She will climb the stairs. She will watch the horizon blush with light. And the lighthouse will glow again. Quiet. Steady. Still. Just like her.